to a brand new episode of Wrestling with Siblings. I'm your host, Araceli, and this is my co-host, Armando.
Hi guys, I'm Armando, and welcome to Wrestling with Siblings. What a night in Smackdown.
Definitely, 100%. Very, very interesting night, to say the least. But let's get started with Shane and Elias, who open up the show. They're seen backstage, and Elias comes out, and he feels the need that he needs to apologize to Shane for what happened at Money in the Bank. As you guys do know, for those of you that haven't watched, you can check out our prediction episode, but he lost literally in under 30 seconds to Roman Reigns after he speared him.
No shame, Elias. I would have done the same thing. Apologize to the boss. I could have done better than that.
And Shane tells him, hey, don't worry about it. I will be at ringside today when you face Roman Reigns. You have the opportunity to redeem yourself. So that match is going to happen later on tonight. But moving on, let's go into Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. We'll keep it short because this was a very, very long segment. They come out, and very, very exciting news. Big E, after being away for 6 weeks, he did have an injury. I don't remember what that injury was, but I believe it was his knee, right?
Yeah, he had a knee injury. I think it was a torn meniscus or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but glad to see him back on TV again.
Yes, he was gone for about 6 weeks, and he's finally now back. We did learn later on throughout the segment that Xavier did say he's not medically cleared to compete yet, but he is cleared to be out in the ring. So that's interesting. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with Big E now. Obviously, the New Day didn't separate as I had predicted at the Superstar Shakeup. I said a few months ago, maybe I believe it was at the Rumble, when I said I see them splitting sometime soon, and I thought maybe Kofi winning the WWE Championship was going to split them apart.
Yeah, if not Big E, maybe Xavier Woods and Big E were going to go their own ways, and Xavier Woods was probably going to stay in SmackDown. But looks like they're keeping the New Day together, which is very good for all of them and for all of us too, because we get to be entertained in SmackDown.
100%. And none other than Kevin Owens and another wild card member, Sami Zayn, who we've seen over the last 2 weeks in SmackDown.
It looks like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have gotten that friendship that they had in the past. Looks like they have joined forces, and honestly, they seem to be very dangerous when they're on the same page, and today they pretty much proved it.
They definitely did, but Sami Zayn pretty much still blames the WWE for a toxic environment, and that's something that the New Day doesn't agree with. As you said, they're very entertaining, and Sami Zayn just simply doesn't agree.
Yeah, and not only that, but the New Day also brings positivity, and Sami Zayn the negativity, so it kind of balances itself both ways.
And he did say, I will beat Kofi tonight, and his friends will not be there to help him. Little did we know, later on we find out what ended up happening to Xavier and Big E and why Sami Zayn said they weren't going to be there for him. Okay, moving on to Carmella, who is seen walking backstage. She's looking for R-Truth. She's like, hey, have you seen R-Truth? Hey, have you seen R-Truth? For those of you that don't know, last night he won the 24/7 championship, and so far he's been able to have it for 24 hours, and she finally sees him with the wig, and then she's like, Truth, is that you? And he's like, yes, I need your help, Mela. And so it's going to be interesting to see what disguise she decides to help him out with.
First of all, R-Truth, that wig needs to come off. It wasn't helping you at all. You gave it away. You should have done something else. Maybe, I don't know, go to the concession stand and start selling stuff, or I don't know, blend in with the crowd, but that wasn't such a good idea.
Hey, Carmella told him, that the wig had to go, and he was like, well, this wig was $20. It wasn't cheap. So, hey, the wig, I agree. It has to go. It has to disappear.
If you guys see R-Truth, let me know, because I want to get that 24/7 title. Oh, yeah.
No one will beat you for it. I can guarantee you that. Okay, aside from that, let's move on to the very first match of the night, which was Ali versus Andrade with Zelina Vega. Very, very interesting. We do know they both come from, I guess, similar wrestling styles, as we can say. This match, at the beginning, started off kind of slow. I feel like they were trying to feel each other, try to see what they can do and what they can work on, and it ended up being one of the best matches of the night.
But also, they started off slow because they were not 100%, because they went through a brutal Money in the Bank match, and I mean, for these guys to come back and compete,
Yeah. You can see the kinesiology tape on the back of Ali and then on the shoulder of Andrade. See, here's the thing. Andrade, incredibly smart competitor. He was definitely prepared for Ali. But one thing that he did that Ali didn't do is Andrade focused on the back of Ali. He knew he was injured. He knew if he targeted that, he can potentially slow down Ali. And that's exactly what he focused on, and we saw him. He dominated 90% of this match.
Yeah, he was focused and determined on that target on the back, and sure enough, he dominated, like you said, 90% of the match. 100%. And not only that, but he had Selena.
He definitely did. And you know that when he has Selena, he's 100 times more dangerous. And Ali, you really got to give him credit because after what he went through at Money in the Bank 48 hours ago and then still coming back and still having the match that he had with Andrade, you got to give him props for that. He was picking and choosing his spots, and the spots that he did have, his athleticism definitely showed his skill.
But unfortunately, Ali was able to pull a fast one and steal the victory. But at the same time, I felt Andrade kind of messed up and let his guard down. I feel that Andrade, to make him more complete, he needs to come up with the submission move.
I can see that. I definitely can. That's something, if he adds it to his arsenal, it's something he can pull out in occasions like this. A competitor like Ali, a competitor like Daniel Bryan, who are prone to be submitted, you can do that.
Yeah, it would have been perfect in this match against Ali.
Another thing you have to take into consideration on behalf of Andrade is he kept trying to get himself counted out. He kept trying to get Ali counted out. I'm sorry. And you can definitely see that. There was maybe, 2 or 3 times when he threw Ali outside and he was just like, count, count. He knew that if there was any other way he can beat him, it was going to be by count out.
And again, that's where the submission would come into play for Andrade.
Yes, and Ali, as Armando said earlier, was the one that was able to pull a fast one, and he pretty much stole it. Selena wasn't happy. Andrade was not happy at all. So let's see where this goes in the next couple of weeks. Okay, back to Carmella helping R-Truth with the disguise, and we ended up finding out that she disguises R-Truth as herself.
Yeah, I don't think it was a brilliant idea.
Well, the thing that gave it away the most is that he walked around with the championship around his waist, So that alone is like, R-Truth, everybody can see the championship. But that leads into Carmella with R-Truth versus Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville. And Carmella, immediately after the attack, goes right after Mandy Rose.
Yeah, and I wanted to see how Carmella was doing, because if you guys actually watched the Money in the Bank match, she comes out with injury. I believe it was her right knee where she struggled. She had to be carried out. So she did look pretty good throughout the match tonight.
Yeah, she tweaked it at Money in the Bank, and today that's why she was upset. That's why she was a lot more brutal. Usually she's not like that. She's usually a little bit more mellow, a little more chill. Today she was just like, no, and she went right after Mandy Rose.
And another thing too is she wasn't focused because she was too busy trying to hide and protect R-Truth.
And not only that, she also had Sonya Deville, who she had to take care of at some point throughout this match. And she was very smart. She saw the crowd of superstars coming out, and she's like, Truth! And so R-Truth, with his championship, runs into the ring, picks up Carmella, walks out, and then just starts going to the backstage. So R-Truth, do a very good job in hiding, because someone's coming for your title. And if he finds you, he's going to take it from you. So be very, very careful. Okay, Sami Zayn versus Kofi Kingston. Before this match even starts, we got to see Big E knocked out, thrown on the floor, and people are wondering what happened to him. And he kept saying Owens, Owens, Owens. So he was hurt. Obviously, it was part of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' plan. They took him out, and therefore forcing Xavier Woods to leave to the hospital with Big E.
Yeah, pretty smart plan by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
And this is where it benefits Sami Zayn, because Kofi Kingston was definitely not 100%. We did know about the punishment that he took last night on Raw. I mean, it was brutal. And then to come and have to have a match and still not be focused because of what happened to Big E.
And also not being focused, like you said, because of the attack that happened to Big E in the backstage area.
Yes, so he definitely was not 100%. This benefited Sami Zayn, but I feel like Sami underestimated Kofi Kingston throughout this entire match. He was like, he's not focused, he's not prepared, I have the advantage, and in the end it ended up biting him because Kofi Kingston, as a reigning champion that he is, was able to defeat him.
Yeah, and Kofi Kingston, like you said, comes out with the victory, and guess who decides to show up?
Who?
Paul Heyman with the Money in the Bank contract, saying this looks like a perfect opportunity for Brock Lesnar to cash in.
Another tease, so we might be seeing him week after week after week after week because he's going to be teasing who he's going to be cashing in on. But now, keep in mind, we did hear last night when Paul Heyman told Brock Lesnar, come back next week and we should tell them who you're cashing in on. So, could it be Kofi? Could it be Seth Rollins? Personally, I would cash in on Kofi Kingston. I don't know about you, but I would go with Kofi.
I would go with Kofi as well, just because Seth Rollins is already prepared and has something up his sleeve for Brock Lesnar if he decides to cash in on him. And we saw that last night when Brock Lesnar was teasing that he was going to cash in. Seth Rollins immediately went and grabbed the chair, and he was like, come on, I'm ready for you.
He's definitely prepared, and that's something that I feel Kofi isn't. I feel he's still in the hype of him being a champion, and he's worked for this 11 years. He's not really thinking things through. So I'm scared he's going to put himself in a situation that he shouldn't be in. And somebody else interrupts because Kofi Kingston, he's over there celebrating, having a blast. He just beat Sami Zayn, and none other than Armando, who came out to attack Kofi Kingston.
Dolph Ziggler, which we haven't seen in months. Really didn't expect Dolph Ziggler to come out and attack Kofi Kingston. I kind of have an idea why, and Dolph Ziggler goes out and explains later why, but I'm going to say I think it's because of jealousy.
I can definitely see that. I mean, Dolph Ziggler has been wrestling for over a decade now. I believe the same amount of time that Kofi Kingston has been wrestling, and he's never really had a big title opportunity, if you really think about it.
That, and also, like you said, the opportunities that Kofi has had in such a short period of time these past couple of months.
Yeah, and I honestly do not blame him, but we do end up finding out later on tonight what his reasoning behind that was. But a disgusting, disgusting assault to Kofi Kingston. Kofi almost left on a stretcher, and then he realized, I'm on a stretcher, and he decided as the champion to walk out on his own 2 feet. Okay, moving on to what was my favorite match of the night, and very anticipated throughout the night, because Charlotte and Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch and Bayley.
Yeah, definitely. This is pretty much the duo I've been wanting to see for a while now, and I've been mentioning Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans. I finally got to see them in the ring working together, and I'm telling you, the chemistry that these two have in the ring is just amazing. Don't be surprised if they end up winning the women's tag team titles in the future.
And don't be surprised if you see Charlotte on Raw teaming up with Lacey Evans and vice versa, given the fact that there is the wild card rule now. So I do want to see them as a team moving forward. We got to see them, like Armando said, amazing chemistry. They work extremely well together, and one of the advantages that they had was exactly that, because Becky Lynch and Bayley, you can tell the clash of egos was there throughout some portions of the match. You were able to see where Bayley would get on Becky's face and Becky would get on Bayley's face, and as we know, that never works out for them.
And Charlotte and Lacey Evans, same thing. They both have egos, but they were able to combine them to work together, and that's very, very crucial. And like I said, it's very dangerous that this team's barely knowing each other and getting along so well. So imagine if they actually have time in the ring, they're just going to be extremely dangerous.
One of the things I want to mention about the Charlotte and Lacey Evans team is that, one, yes, they do work extremely well together. The frequent tags, they were on the same page. They kept Bayley as far away from Becky Lynch as they possibly could for as long as they could. And that is very, very crucial in this match, because as we do know, the moment Becky Lynch came in, it was a game changer. That's it. It was pretty much over for Lacey Evans and Charlotte.
Yeah, and then also Becky Lynch, she wasn't fully focused on the tag match. She was more focused on getting to Lacey Evans, and I think that's one of the mistakes that may end up haunting Becky in the future.
Yes, 100%. But Bayley was able to pull out the victory for this team, and it's going to be interesting to see because Becky Lynch did say, "I am coming for your championship right after this match." So, are they going to give Becky the opportunity to go back after the Smackdown championship? Personally, I wouldn't. I like the fact that there's two different champions on two separate brands. Even though we have the wild card rule, I think it's better for the women's division in general.
Yeah, and it benefits everybody. They get more opportunity, and you don't get to have the champion going back and forth between brands, like you said.
Yeah, everybody's getting showcased. I think it works out better that way. But anyways, moving on to Dolph Ziggler, who pretty much comes out and this time he's going to explain why he did what he did. And as Armando said, it was jealousy. He believes it should have been him who faced Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. He feels like he should have been the one that was in that gauntlet match. He believes all the opportunities that Kofi Kingston got should have been his.
Yep, and I mean, I don't blame him. He's been in the company for a while, and he really hasn't had a huge title push.
I feel at this point he's just trying to be appreciative. He doesn't have to prove himself to anybody. He's already proven himself. I mean, the matches he has with people, and it doesn't matter who you put him up against, he has a great match. To me, he's already proven himself as a competitor. I just feel like now it's more kind of like a Miz thing where he's just trying to get respect.
Yeah, and not only that, but he also goes on and challenges Kofi for the WWE Championship at Super Showdown.
Yes. So he goes on to challenge Kofi. Very, very interesting. I mean, do you potentially see Dolph Ziggler being the guy that actually takes the championship from Kofi Kingston?
No, I don't see him. I don't see Dolph Ziggler beating Kofi Kingston for the WWE title.
Well, this is kind of a hard one for me because I can see Dolph, after what he did today to Kofi Kingston, I can see him doing that. However, keep in mind, Kofi has Xavier and Big E in his corner pretty much at all times. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's the one that actually does it. Do I personally think he'll do it? I don't know, to be completely honest. I feel like he has a great shot, but at the same time, I feel like let Kofi seize his moment. That's just the way I feel. That's the way I think it should be, to put it that way. Okay, moving on to our main event. Elias versus Roman Reigns. Keep in mind, all the odds are against Roman in this match.
All I gotta say is that at Money in the Bank, Elias got robbed. I wasn't fair. He wasn't ready. Roman Reigns sneak attacked him when he was walking out of the ramp.
He sneaked attack Roman Reigns too in the backstage area. He hit him with his guitar.
Yeah, but he had the opportunity to come out.
Yeah, but it's still his fault for thinking that a guitar was going to keep the big dog Roman Reigns out of action.
Plus, he didn't even need that guitar. He went and played it with the electric guitar.
Okay, moving on. Shane McMahon was ringside, and we know how Shane gets when his emotions get the best of him. He becomes a person that we've never seen before, a person that is out to hurt somebody, a person that wants what he wants, and he won't settle for anything else.
And Elias, being smart, he is pretty much allying with Shane McMahon, and like I said, later on that's probably going to lead him to a title picture opportunity.
He's a smart man, you know. He knows exactly what he wants, and he knows how to get it, and he did save the boss from pretty much falling on his head. That alone just gives you a push. That puts you on the good side. And that's what he's been doing. Plus, keep in mind, he is protected if he is an ally with Shane McMahon, and we're going to see that moving forward, as he said.
Shane is making a smart decision. He is walking with Elias.
Are you sure he's not going to get lost?
He won't get lost. I didn't get lost.
You didn't get lost? Are you sure?
Mm-mm.
I'll insert a picture of it right here. The poster that Armando made is amazing.
Iconic.
It definitely is iconic. Okay, and Roman Reigns. I mean, very, very impressed with him ever since he came back from the leukemia thing. I feel like he's just been more focused. And not only that, but I feel like we get to see Joe and Roman together in one person, and I like the new Roman Reigns.
Definitely, and this is a perfect example of Roman Reigns overcoming the odds, not only in life but in the ring. I mean, he has all the odds stacked against him, like you said, by having Shane McMahon in Elias's corner pretty much. And not only that, but McIntyre also on Raw. So he's pretty much picked the bone with as enemies on both sides of the brand.
And you know what? I think what ended up biting Elias and Shane is the fact that they were trying too hard to beat Roman in this match. Because we got to see spots where Shane was trying way too hard to get himself involved in the match, and Elias way too hard to try to take down Roman, and at the end that ended up biting them because Roman overcame all the odds. But this is where being an ally is very, very beneficial because he gets Claymore kicked by none other than Drew McIntyre.
Yep, and another dangerous obstacle that Roman Reigns has to overcome in Raw and also now in SmackDown.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Shane has somebody protecting him in SmackDown with Elias and somebody in Raw protecting him. So that man is unprotected. He picked, I think, two of the greatest performers that we've seen so far. So keep in mind, keep an eye out for them. You can't trust Elias, and you definitely cannot trust Drew McIntyre.
No, and they know how to put themselves with people that are going to benefit them.
Yeah, I mean, Drew McIntyre, when he first started, he put himself with Dolph Ziggler, and look at him now. And then you have somebody like Elias. Look who he partnered himself with. None other than the boss's son, Shane McMahon. That guy is going to go places for sure. Alright, that's all we have for you guys on this episode of Wrestling with Siblings. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Become a sibling today. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of what was happening today with Charlotte, Lacey Evans, with Dolph Ziggler coming out. Let us know your feedback on SmackDown. And for those of you guys that do not know what WWS stands for, I wonder what does WWS stand for?
Wrestling with Siblings. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.
We'll see you guys next week.